Hey TrueBuild members, today we're going to walk you through an account setup with Quill. Quill's been around for quite a while. If you are no stranger to business credit, you may already have an account established with them. However, they did just recently change something, so we want to make sure that if you already have an existing Quill account, that you have this one thing checked off within your login so you can make sure your trade line's reporting. And if you've been having reporting issues and haven't seen your Quill trade line, it could also be the reason. So we'll touch on that in just a moment. Let's go through an overview of what we're going to cover in today's video. We are going to cover who Quill is, why they're important for building business credit, how to set up an account with them from start to finish. We'll go over, as always, purchasing parameters and some extra tips and things to remember as you go about utilizing this account. So we're going to take you over to the member portal, which is the page that you're currently on. This is the Quill homepage here. And this, as always, has your true guidance. It has the reporting information for Quill. And it has, as always, tech tips and some really detailed instructions for, setting up the account, purchasing with the account once you have it set up. So all of that information is here on this page. And then there is a little disclaimer right here. This applies to most of the layer 1 accounts with the exception of Zorro, that they you may need to do an upfront purchase if you don't get approved for the net 30 terms, which is okay because that purchase will still report as a cash experience trade line as long as the account is set up correctly. So same with some other accounts. Quill reports to Dun & Bradstreet. There's an important thing that we need to make sure is checked off in your account if you already have one set up. So let's get right into it. You're going to want to go down here, click go to application. It's going to take you here. What you're going to want to do is go up here to welcome sign in and click this create account link. And then we actually already have that pulled up in another tab here. Just for the sake of time, we are going to go ahead and enter your email. Make sure you have business use checked off, enter your password, and then you're going to hit create account. And there's a couple different screens that you kind of have to go through as you set up this account. So company name, you're going to go ahead, put that in. And then you can put in your industry. It's not super important, but you can, be as detailed as you want here. And then you're going to put first and last name, your job title. This is all just so that your information is set up correctly, but doesn't necessarily impact reporting at all. Number of employees, phone number, and then check off if it's a mobile number or not. Save and close. Okay, so that just takes care of the first part of your account setup. There's more to do because you probably noticed we didn't put in any address information, which is kind of important because that's how business credit works. Your trade line will report based off of your company name and your address. So we're going to go through that now. You're going to go up here to where it says, Hi John, or your name, account. If your name's John, it'll look like this. And then you're going to go down here to your account. And then it takes you to this little kind of dashboard. Looks similar to Zorro if you've done Zorro. What you want to do, so it has your order history up here. There's obviously not going to be anything there yet. You're going to go right here in the middle to account settings. This is where we're going to input address information and one important thing that's going to impact your reporting. Okay, so it's going to have all the information that we already filled in there. And then right here, we have shipping address, billing accounts. So you have manage billing address and manage shipping address. If you do either one of these, you can have it applied to the other one. So it doesn't matter which one you start with. We're going to do billing address, add new billing. We're going to put our company name, attention to just be your name. And then you're going to put in your street address, zip code, city, state, and your billing email. And then this little box, like I mentioned, you can have it save it automatically as you're shipping. As always, we recommend that you have your shipping and your billing address be the same address, and that is your business address. That should all be congruent because you'll never basically run the risk of a trade line not reporting correctly if you use your business address as your shipping and your billing. The one that is a little bit more important than the other would be your billing. So always make sure your billing address is the business address. The shipping address should also be as well. However, some of the vendors don't report based off of the shipping address with the exception of Uline. But just for safety, use your business address for both is always the safest way to go. Okay, so we're going to check off save as shipping, create. Now, this just comes up because this is not a real address. So, you can go with the one that you put in or, whatever it corrects it to. So we're going to go back to what we set it as. Use selected address. Okay, it's in there. So we have our billing address. We have our shipping address. The important thing, your trade will not report if you do not check this box. This says DNB Trade Exchange Program. So you need to make sure that that box is checked. Now your trade will report. if you purchase correctly with this account, of course. So that is a new feature. So if you set up your account with Quill prior to, say, September, you need to basically go back into your Quill account and make sure to check that box. So for all the people out there who already have Quill accounts, make sure you do that. If you purchased with if you purchased with Quill and you notice that your trade has not reported to Dun & Bradstreet, that could be why. So make sure that you check that box. Okay. So now your account's set up. It's ready to go. What I want to show you is the way that the purchasing works. This is just slightly different from the way that some of the other accounts work, and it's why I want to demonstrate it for you. Basically just what happens when your cart total is over 100 versus when it's under 100. And this is for Quill in particular. So now that our account is set up, we're going to start creating a shopping cart. So I'm just going to pick this first option here. I'm going to add 2 of these $35 products to my cart. So my cart subtotal should be about $70. And I'm going to go view cart. So now I'm in my checkout, or at least in the beginning of it. So these items are in my cart. We see here that my subtotal is $69.98. And then they just haven't calculated my shipping and handling yet. However, always make sure that you're paying attention to the pre-tax and shipping amount. That's what matters, not the after-tax shipping. The minimum purchase requirements that we outline in your login, that is always before taxes and shipping. So that's what you need to pay attention to. So once they calculate shipping and taxes in there, then this amount will change. But that's not the number that you want to pay attention to, essentially. Okay, so we have those items in our cart. Our cart's roughly $70. And what we notice, so see how the total changed to $75.40, not the number we want to pay attention to. We need to pay attention to the $69.98. Now, we're in our checkout. Our order is under $100, and we notice that we do not have net 30 terms as an option. And that's because our cart is under $100. So we see credit card and other methods as our payment options, and that's it. We don't have net 30 as an option in here. So what we need to do is make sure that our cart subtotal is over $100. What we're going to do is we're just going to change our quantity of this item to 3. Let's see here. Oh, it only lets you move it down. Okay, so we're going to go back and we're going to add another one. Add to cart. Okay. Now we have 3. Now our cart subtotal is $119.97. Now we should see net 30 terms as a payment option. So continue to checkout. And here we go. Now we have a little button here that says apply for net 30 terms. So you're going to want to click on that. Net 30 terms is always the way that you want to go. It's always better to purchase on net 30 terms than to do an upfront purchase. However, with most of the vendors in Layer 1, an upfront purchase does suffice. It will report a cash experience trade line, which is fine. However, as we've talked about previously, in order to achieve the 80 payback score Dun & Bradstreet, at least one of the 3 trades does need to be on net 30 terms. So anytime you are offered net 30 terms, you want to take them. In this case, we are going to apply for them. It's not guaranteed that we'll be approved for them, but we do want to apply for them. So you're going to check that off, hit apply for net 30 terms, and then you're going to fill out this application. We have a little window of this over here in our slides that we're going to take you to. This is basically an account that did get the net 30 terms. So here we have the checkout. Our cart subtotal is $109.78 before taxes and shipping. And then we have the apply for net 30 terms option here. We hit that. And then we fill out this application. So, basic company information. Now, since we are actually submitting an application, this is very important that this information is accurate and matches any business credit reports that you already have, as well as your Secretary of State. So you're going to input your company name, address, select your business type. Technically, it's not a required field to put in your tax ID or EIN, but we would recommend putting it in. Anytime you're asked for it, just go ahead and put it in. It does help with the kind of review process. And then you're going to put in your phone number, accounts payable contact. Most likely you're the one responsible for doing the payments. And you'll put your name, your business email address. Notice how it says business email address. If you have like your own company's domain, that's the one to use. If at this time you only have like a Gmail that's used for the business, that still technically counts. But if you do have your company domain website, use that email. and then you'll put your business phone number and hit submit application. Then you're going to get the either, approval, denial. One thing before that, though, you do get this verify your identity. So it's just going to send you an authorization code to the phone number that you input. So you're just going to have to put in, you'll check the number there that you want the code sent to, which it'll automatically populate that there. It'll send you the code. You'll input the code, hit submit, and then you're going to get either an approval, denial, or under review message. So this is an account that was approved. So it says, congratulations, approved. You can check out, and an invoice will be sent to you via email upon shipment of your items. And that is how Net 30 terms work. So no surprises there. So you'll just go continue to checkout, and you will complete your purchase on Net 30 terms with Quill. And then, as we mentioned, the minimum purchase requirement in order for the option to apply for Net 30 terms is $100. However, typically upfront purchases with Quill, the ones that report as cash experiences, that usually is okay if the minimum total purchase is just over $50. So just keep that in mind. If you are not approved for the Net 30 terms, we would still advise you to make a minimum purchase over $100, but trade lines for $50 purchases and over do still typically report, and that's before taxes and shipping. Always remember that. And then, as always, when you're invoiced, if you get the Net 30 terms, always making sure to make that payment before the due date. So that is an account setup. So now here, when we select Net 30 terms as our option, so see here, it's selected under payment method, Net 30 terms, billing address, all of that. Make sure that this shipping and this billing both reflect as your business address. If you absolutely need to ship the products to a different address, definitely make sure that the billing is the business address. And then you should be good to go in your trade line report. You can place your order and you're good to go. And that's how you do a Quill purchase. So those are just some little nuances when it comes to Quill. Every vendor is a little different, so we wanted to touch on those details with you. Okay, so some things to remember as you go about utilizing this account. Use your business address as your shipping and your billing, both. And then apply for the Net 30 terms in your cart checkout. The cart total, as we saw, needs to be over 100 before taxes and shipping. Quill does not always offer the Net 30 terms. So, you still have to complete that application. There's the possibility of not getting approved for it. So in those cases, it's okay to do the purchase up front. Quill still reports cash experience trade lines. And then once you're given the Net 30 terms, you have them going forward no matter what the purchase amount is. So that's kind of nice. So if you keep using your Quill account, you don't always have to have a purchase over $100. Your purchase can be whatever amount and still give you the Net 30 terms option. So that is a nice thing. As always, make sure to pay the invoice 7 to 10 days prior to the due date. You do all those things, you'll have a trade line reflected on Dun & Bradstreet for Quill. We'll see you in the next video.